Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy's Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. And once again we have a great engagement out of the South Korean pro scene. Let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. Here in the right lower part of the map in the white, it is Mind, a very talented Terran player. And his opponent is going to be none other than here spawning in the brown as the Zerg. JAEDONG, one of the most, if not the best Zerg player there ever was to be in the period of 2010 and 2015. Now the map they're playing on is called Othello, a very interesting map as JAEDONG is already moving out with his overlord in the right direction, so he should be able to find Mind very soon. Mind, of course, a player who is not to be underestimated, a very strong Terran, a very talented player like I told you guys. Top 5 Terrans at least at that period of time, and he's actually going to open up here of course with a supply depot, nicely defending here his SCVs from any aggression. Let's just see what exactly JAEDONG is up to. I don't see a spawning pool yet. He's probably going to go into another overlord indeed. And what his option is going to be, is he going for a fast expansion, is he going for a fast spawning pool? And the options are of course of his choice, as he's once again droning up here. So pretty interesting stuff here by both players. No more openings, no out of the ordinary game. Finally we have a Zerg versus a Terran. After many Protoss versus Terran, I have finally decided to cast this game of course here of JAEDONG as the Zerg versus the Terran. After many games of course of Flash playing Terran versus Protoss, or of Bisu playing Protoss versus the Terrans, finally I needed a change, and we have a nice engagement here once again between these two pros as this SCV is moving out on the map, and he's of course going to find here JAEDONG with his fast expansion. No spawning pool yet. Finally now he decides to build that spawning pool. Let's just have a look at the base of the Terran. Of course, like I told you guys, Terrans really like to go mass mech when it is versus the Protoss, mass siege tanks with vultures and goliaths, but things are changing of course when you face a Zerg, as most Terrans actually decide to go for mass bio pushes with marines, with medics and even firebat heroes. But of course Flash has shown that that mass factories with mechanical units are also a possibility here for you, as the Terran, the Zerg of course relies on his Zerglings with Hydras. It could be a fast push for him, but JAEDONG is of course known for his nice Mutalisk micro, even opens up here with a macro hatchery. And of course this hatchery should be finished as fast as possible, just to allow that extra mining here for JAEDONG. So let's just see what exactly the options are going to be. Of course Zergs, if they're facing bios, they really like to go for lurkers. Lurkers of course very good against a massive clumped up marine bio unit. So for example, if you place 2 lurkers here and marines are going to move in here, the splash damage is going to be so real and so powerful against those units. But first we have a good move out here by JAEDONG with his 6 Zerglings, perhaps the first aggression here for him. There are 3 marines ready here to defend the expansion. Another barracks is being placed out, a refinery, so pretty standard opening up here by Mind. Also his SCV is not being touched yet here by JAEDONG, as JAEDONG just wishes to do the first aggression here. 1 SCV almost gets taken out, even 1 Zergling also gets taken out, so nice micro here by both players. The expansion is finishing up of course, so Mind can of course start mining here, but JAEDONG is going straight for that SCV. He might lose 1 Zergling or even 2. No, he's just showing his presence here, just tries to be as annoying as possible. And notice how Mind just leaves his marines in the back next to the command center just to be able to micro them in and out. So a good aggression. Now finally, however, JAEDONG decides to push back this SCV. Of course he's taking into tier 2, and this, like I told you guys, are 2 possibilities here for him. Either he goes Mutalisk to harass his opponent, or he's just going Hydralisk then with lurkers. So it could even be a drop. He could even upgrade his transporting abilities here for his overlord, so everything is possible of course for him. Now Mind is already moving out. Perhaps he's going to scan this position, if even scan is available. Not yet. He's just going to fend off this overlord. So yeah, let's just see the follow-up here by JAEDONG. It would be very interesting to see what exactly his option is going to be, but perhaps right now he's just droning up as much as possible, as he's of course a little bit behind like any Zerg against the Terran, because Zergs, of course, you guys know, they lose a drone when they build a building. Marines and medics are already out on the map. Scan is being made, so Steam should of course also have been researched. Let's have a look. In comes that Steam upgrade, of course. Steam very important if you have those Marines, as Mindis decides just to move out now on the map, as we have passed the 5-minute mark on the counter. JAEDONG very fast in the reaction. Speed is being done already for his Zergling, and Sunken's already out just to defend this position, and the Zerglings even are trying to buy some time for those Sunkens to finish here. He even plays a third Sunken and hides a nice building here. What is this going to be? Indeed a Spire, so JAEDONG still on his Spire here. He loses, however, many Zerglings here, so a little bit of a mistake here by JAEDONG. It happens, of course. Yeah, it is indeed going to be Mutalisk here, a Mutalisk gameplay here for JAEDONG, of course. The Terran should react to this by placing some turrets here on this expansion, perhaps even placing some turrets here just to protect those buildings that are producing Terrans, and even he goes into one factory, so interesting stuff here by him. Nice placement here of these overlords by JAEDONG all over the map, just to have as much map awareness as possible. Even 2 Firebat heroes just to do that splash damage against those Zerglings here by Mind. So nice army composition here by him, as he already has passed the 60 unit mark. First Mutalisk are on the map. Is Mind prepared for this? His timing is pretty good with those turrets. The turrets are perhaps a little bit far off the possibility to be repaired, but I'm sure that Mind knows exactly what he is doing. Here we go, first engagement here by JAEDONG. JAEDONG already taking a little bit of damage. He is able, however, to take out 1 turret, even 2, but those Marines are going to be able to surround those Mutalisk a little bit, so the Mutalisk a little bit of trapped here. Nice movement here by Mind, as he leaves some Marines here on this place and others on this place, so nice trap here by him against those Mutalisk. 8 Mutalisk on the map, more of course will come, but Mind is ready for that. He even takes out 1 Mutalisk. Now there are turrets here, just actually 2 turrets here, but this small army composition by Mind could be taken out here from JAEDONG. He does indeed take out 3 Marines, and more nice micro here by JAEDONG. Once again, more and more is being killed by him, as he feels very confident, as he just leaves those Mutalisk here, just try to deal as much damage as possible, and even forcing here a move out by Mind from this position to get back at home, just to defend his base. Still 8 Mutalisk in the air. Nice micro here once again. He really loves his Mutalisks, but sadly for him he loses 1 and only kills 1 turret there. At the same time he moves out here with some Zerglings on the map, perhaps just to secure his expansion here, as the same thing can be said about Mind. He's also moving out on the map. Perhaps he wishes to kill that 3rd expansion here for JAEDONG. JAEDONG once again microing those Mutalisk out of his mind, and even killing 1 Marine once again, and lots of turrets here for him. So the aggression looks like it's a little bit of over. He did lose, of course, some Mutalisk, but he did buy time for his expansion here, as those Marines are being taken care of. Those Zerglings, so really good stuff here by JAEDONG with that expansion. But let's have a look at the upgrade. 0 to 1 here for Mind, as he's moving out on the map, and lots of Terrans are doing this just to cripple the Zergling as much as possible, not allowing him to expand all over the place. Nice hidden Mutalisks here on this high ground, as they will very likely join forces with those Zerglings just to kill those Marines and medics. But at the same time, more and more reinforcements are coming in here for Mind, so pretty good strong push here by him, as he's on a 2 base versus soon to be 3 base Zerg. But look at that, this is what I told you guys, those 2 lurkers are just going to deal massive amounts of splash damage against that bio push. Mind not being careful here. He has lost so many Marines, as he has to push back. So pretty confident position here by JAEDONG. Those 2 lurkers are of course saving here him, and of course he's going into more and more lurkers. Lurkers of course a great counter if you face a mass bio push here by the Terran. What exactly is the Terran going to? Of course into science vessels. Science vessels a must if you are Terran versus a Zerg. Of course with that irradiate you can deal so much splash damage against those Mutalisk if they're not being micro correctly. At the same time, of course, science vessels are detecting those invisible lurkers when they're buried, so really good and much needed unit here for Mind. He's even going into tanks. Let's just have a look. Not yet, but siege tank is being researched, so we might see, of course, 3 or 5 tanks here on the map. Pretty good stuff here by him. At the same time, the Zerg could of course go into tier 3, indeed he does, and he's probably going to go for those defilers with that. But hold on, let's just nice engagement here with mass Zerglings here and even Mutalisk here. Nice engagement by the Zerg, by JAEDONG, is dealing so much damage here against Mind. Really good stuff by him. Even some SCVs have to be pulled. The reinforcements from Mind are coming back home, perhaps to defend this location. The tank is taking so much damage here. Good engagement here by JAEDONG, and even the science vessel is being taken out here for him, so nice engagement. However, if I look at the supply account, I see that Mind is at 93, JAEDONG only at 62, and worker wise also Mind is ahead, so a little bit of a mistake perhaps here, a little bit of bad calculation here by JAEDONG. He did miss those lurkers. Those lurkers are only having a defensive role here, they're only being buried here in the middle of the map. So lurker much needed here, of course, for JAEDONG, just to deal as much splash damage as possible against these Terran groups. Now let's just have a look at the follow-up. More and more science vessels are being produced, perhaps a tank or two indeed, so as Mind looks very confident, even though he's only at a 2 base and now finally builds his 3rd base. Another engagement here, good job by JAEDONG with those lurkers, dealing, killing so many medics this time. So nice stuff by him, but Mind is moving forward here with his science vessel, and he's all going to be able to, of course, detect these lurkers, perhaps even casting an irradiate or two. JAEDONG, of course, the counter against the science vessel for the Zerg are those Scourge. Scourge very good with that engagement. Nice irradiate once again, good detection here, but he really needs to take care of those Scourges, does so, and the Zealots and the Zergs stand no chance here against those Marines. Upgraded Marines at 1 to 2 already. Let's just have a look at the Zerglings here from JAEDONG, 1 to 0. And this is a good counter here for JAEDONG with a Dark Swarm. He can protect those lurkers versus range attack. So pretty good stuff here by him, also doing massive splash damage against the Terran. His economy is going to slowly kick in, even though he's at only 40 workers versus 55 here for Mind. Good irradiate once again, dealing so much splash damage here. This defiler will fall, of course, but he casts another dark cloud, a dark swarm, sorry, against the Terran. So pretty good engagement here, nice defensive gameplay here now by JAEDONG. At the same time, good job here by him with those Dark Swarm. He's able to protect these Zerglings against that range units attack, so pretty good stuff here by him, as he's able to clear this small group of Mind, however, pushing here forward. He should be able to cast Irradiate on those lurkers, perhaps even detect him, but this choke is very strong here for JAEDONG. He needs to be very careful here. One Irradiate finally being pushed out. Second Irradiate might follow here. So let's just have a look. Is this lurker going to die? It should die. And with that, perhaps Mind is going to push in here through, but no, his science vessel all of a sudden are retreating, as JAEDONG pushes in forward here with a group of lurkers. So I don't understand why exactly he did push those back, but I'm sure he had his reasons. Slowly but steadily, JAEDONG is moving more and more forward. Nice Dark Swarms once again, and he's already being able to hurt the economy now of Mind here. Really good stuff here by JAEDONG. Perhaps he should have left one science vessel here and he could have pushed forward, but of course there are reinforcements here for JAEDONG at this base. However, a lot of mining time is being denied here by JAEDONG with those lurkers. The refinery might even fall here for Mind, so really good stuff here by both players. And once again, look at that, Mind now decides to push him forward, but Dark Swarm is already ready here for JAEDONG. Really good stuff here with that Dark Swarm, just protecting those drones against any aggression. Nice stuff here by JAEDONG. Very good defensive task. I don't see a Nidus network here for him, but he's going to be able to produce, of course, as many units as possible just to defend this location. Once again, we have a move out here on the map, Zerglings with Lurkers and Defilers. Perhaps JAEDONG is going to add some Ultralisk. It is, of course, a possibility. Is there Ultralisk then? I don't see one, so I think he's just going to stay into those army composition. Nice Irradiate as the Terran is moving forward. He needs to be careful against those Scourge. Scourge are going to deal massive damage against those Science Vessels, but now they're being taken out. One Science Vessel falls, of course. JAEDONG with a small group here from Lurkers, they should be pretty soon be taken out. Mind is moving out, but he needs to be careful against the Dark Swarm here from JAEDONG. It's a pretty aggressive gameplay here by both players. Those Lurkers once again are moving forward, and Mind in a little bit of trouble as he's losing so many SAVs. Really good stuff here by JAEDONG. Mind's army is on hold position, of course, here just to hold this position, just perhaps to add as much Irradiate as possible just to kill those Lurkers. But this position here from JAEDONG is very strong, as he's even able to deal so much damage here into this expansion. This expansion might fall. Now a scan comes out and this Lurkers is going to very likely fall. At the same time, Mind is trying to push here with a small group with Marines, but in come the Zerglings team, of course, is being done, and the Defiler in the back is going to cast that Dark Swarm. So really nice stuff here. Mind once again needs to be careful against those Scourge. Upgraded Zerglings very strong, and this small group here from Mind will, of course, be taken out. Nice Plague here by JAEDONG, just dealing massive amounts of damage against the Terran units. A small group here for Marines. Might be a drop here. Mind, of course, could take a dropship, but JAEDONG is, of course, prepared for that exactly with two Scourges here into this base. So let's just have a look at the follow-up here. More and more units are being, of course, produced. More and more Science Vessel with massive bio pushes here by Mind. JAEDONG decides to move forward here. Nice Dark Swarm once again protecting those Lurkers, and the economy of Mind is already under the threat. So much splash damage once again here done by JAEDONG. Mind can only irradiate those Lurkers just to fend them off. This expansion already taken once again so much damage. It really needs to be repaired or it's going to fall. So Mind needs to be a little bit more careful. Here he might lose his expansion, but at the same time he decides to move out here on the map. Now finally he's going to repair and save this expansion. Pretty good stuff here by him, as we have another engagement here with even one Mutalisk or mass Zerglings. So a late good Plague, however, here by him, but the Zerglings have been already taken out, so the medics need to massively repair these units, massively heal them. So really good stuff here once again. Nice push here by Mind. JAEDONG over on point with his Lurkers. Very defensive gameplay. Once again, these Lurkers are going to take out as many reinforcements as possible from Mind. So pretty good stuff here by him. JAEDONG also decides to expand here while Mind is expanding on this position. 52 workers here for Mind, 51 only for JAEDONG, as Mind is closing in at 150 mark here. But a nice team drop here by Mind in the main of JAEDONG. JAEDONG in a little bit of trouble, of course. He brings his Zerglings here. He tries to get us around, but those medics are healing those Marines really well. So many Zerglings have fallen here. However, right now JAEDONG is transitioning into Ultralisk. Ultralisk, of course, a very tanky unit, a very good unit versus those Marines. Pretty good stuff here by him. I don't know if it's actually so good. Perhaps Lurkers would have been even better, but I'm sure that JAEDONG knows exactly what he is doing, as more and more Marines are being, of course, produced here by Mind. Good hold here by JAEDONG. Lots of his Zerglings have fallen, of course, but he is able to fend this off. Let's just have a look at the upgrades here. 3-2 for those Ultralisk Ultras at 400 HP, a very tanky, a very strong unit. We have another drop here by Mind. This time, however, he decides to kill as many drones as possible. 5 drones have been killed here. Once again, JAEDONG brings his Zerglings and he should be able to fend this off. But the damage has been already done, as we have even another drop here by Mind. So Mind all over the place. Just decide to do as much economic damage as possible, even losing these units, but that's okay as the mining time has been denied. And look at that, all of a sudden JAEDONG dropping at 121 supply. There's once again another nice move here with those science vessels, with that irradiate, what I told you guys. So much damage, but at the same time Plague is also dealing so much damage. Here we have an encounter once again. Those Sunkens are in trouble. In comes forward the supply here for Mind. Mind is going to clump his marines together. So much steam is going on. Medics are healing, of course. Those Ultras are already hurt, so JAEDONG needs to be careful. He is in a little bit of trouble here right now. His expansion could be taken out. So really good stuff here by Mind, even dealing more and more damage with those irradiates, and those marines are being of course healed from these medics. More and more reinforcements are coming in here from Mind, so Mind looking in a very strong position here against JAEDONG. And all of a sudden, look at that, JAEDONG at 84 supply versus 117 from Mind here. Nice Plague once again going out. But the Plague has been also casted on those Sunkens, so JAEDONG needs to be of course very careful here. He only has one Ultralisk and a Defiler. Of course reinforcements should come, but another drop here by Mind playing really greatly here. Such a nice game here by him, and JAEDONG is in some serious trouble. Those science vessels are being chased of course by those Scourges, and some science vessel will fall. Good tanky Ultralisk here, but JAEDONG, like I told you guys, in some serious trouble. There's Marines here at this expansion taking out so many drones, and the mining time once again is being denied. So pretty good stuff here by Mind. Mind playing actually out of his mind. Really great stuff here. Only one Marine is being left here behind, as the drone have to be transferred to a new location. But those team Marines will of course take care of this. And the problem here right now for JAEDONG is that he's only mining from this basis, while the Terran is mining from 2 bases. Actually, this one almost depleted out, and I see a huge move out here by Mind. So Mind looking in a very dominant position here by him. This could be actually his game, as JAEDONG, sadly for him, he's at only 55 supply, only 13 workers, while Mind is at 172. So what a great show of dominance here by Mind versus JAEDONG. JAEDONG, what exactly does he have? Just a couple of Zerglings here. He's trying to of course produce as many backs as possible, but no, Mind is just way too strong. So good decision here by Mind. I don't know if Ultralisk would have been an option, but then again JAEDONG of course knows better than me. Lurkers would have been a nice option of course, as they would have dealt so much splash damage, but like I told you guys, I'm sure that JAEDONG knew exactly what he was doing. But with those drop ships here, with those drop ship gameplay, Mind securing here is his game. Such a good game here by him versus one of the best, if not the best Zerg there is. Even he, at the end, he perhaps would have tried to irradiate his own science vessel just to clean as many drones as possible. So nice game, good game by both players. Good engagement by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. I'll be seeing you guys in the next replay. Thanks for watching.